good to go on the recordings.
Okay, cool. Hey guys, this is our second episode of Closers Are for Coffee. On this episode, we're going to talk about communication, tools, all that kind of fun stuff. But let's go around first and kind of make an intro to everyone that's in the room. I'll start. I'm Melissa. I'm on the client success team. I'm a project manager. And
cool.
Who's this guy?
My name's Kramer. I'm the current CEO of HuFi, and I lead the day-to-day and the larger picture of where we're taking our organization.
So serious.
So serious.
That's my 5-second elevator speech.
Yeah.
I'm Dakota. I'm on the client success team. I help with all things marketing and sales enablement.
Nice. I'm Allie. I am the COO of HuFi Client Success, and I like to sing in the morning.
I was just thinking we should say something fun with our bio.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We were just
That's okay.
listening.
We're gonna start
That
doing
was
that from
kind
now
of
on.
lame and dry.
Do you want to go back around? And
No, I can't
Fun
do
fact. So I am Sara. I am one of the founders of HuFi, currently a co-chairman here. I'll be dropping in with the team every now and again to do these podcasts. I work alongside everyone currently to come in on strategy aspects and things like that, but for the most part, I'm just dropping in and saying, hey.
Yeah.
Special guest status, I love it.
Guest star, Sarah. Awesome. All right, so let's just jump right into it. First, let's talk about your favorite communication tools, not only just to use kind of professionally, but personally, day by day. What do you guys use that you find to work for you the best?
Who wants to go first?
I asked the question.
I know for me, so Slack is obviously the one that's ringing through everyone's head, and for us here internally, day-to-day, Slack is if you're not on Slack, then you're basically not working. So definitely love that platform. I think, in my personal life, iMessage is again, my number one communication tool, the ability to kind of go through and make groups. And then finally, really Google Calendar. And I've definitely, over the past year, basically if it's not on my calendar, then I don't show up. And so, and that even has now gone even into the weekends and booking trips for every single one of my friends is now getting married except me, which is interesting. So going to bachelor parties and flying out for weddings. And
That part's fun.
Yeah, exactly. So Google Calendar too is been pretty incremental and kind of making sure that I don't screw up on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And so that we know what everybody's doing at all times.
Yes.
Always.
Gets my body jam
It
notifications.
is also a great creeper tool. Yeah, not to the Google Calendar.
I know.
tonight.
Yeah, we were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about that we have your calendar on our calendar, and so you put everything that you
Oh,
do
yeah.
on your calendar, and so it's like
I do.
I
This
guess
is just
Brushing
I'm-
her hair.
I don't think I can do that anymore. I don't think so. I don't even really have to brush my hair
No.
anymore.
I did get a notification though that was like getting drinks with so and so, and I was like, I don't know who that is, and why is that on
Wait,
my
why
phone?
did you get a notification for that? That's not until Saturday.
Your
I think.
calendar is on all our calendars.
That's
for
so
some reason.
weird.
Yeah,
I
but your calendar's on my
Yeah,
calendar.
all you. I have all you guys. I know when you wake
I
up in the
know.
morning. I know if
So-
you're getting
So
coffee
communication
with
at
your mom.
HuFi
is
is
all there.
on point.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to echo his Google Calendar and tell y'all that not only do I put everything on my work calendar, just because I want someone to be able to look and be like, okay, she's somewhere preoccupied and that's why she's not available. But also I've got other calendars that are private. One is for, and this is a great way just to kind of for time management. It's necessary. I've got a calendar for all of my bills and tasks, and I label them all in red. And when they're done, I switch them to green.
I love that.
Everything. And
Wow.
so as an example,
So
yesterday, all of my to-do tasks for the day, they're blocked out in my calendar, so I know if this half-hour shifts and I'm doing something else, this needs to go somewhere.
Wow.
And then at the end of the day, I kind of do a wrap-up and I move everything to the next day or whenever, and then if I didn't get it done, I'm like, why didn't this get finished? And it really helps me manage my time better.
Yeah. Do you
I
have
use to track time, too. That's how I, make sure what I did.
freaking brilliant? Is there a way to do an if recipe so that it turns your calendar event green once you've marked it done?
I do
Or-
not know. I usually just go in and switch to the color.
Yeah.
It's like my little check
There's something satisfying about doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a travel and wellness calendar. It sounds really hippie, but any trips that I plan on going on or anything like gym, tanning, anything like that, if I want to do something spontaneous,
Got
it goes
laundry.
on the calendar too. Yeah.
Gym, tanning, laundry.
Yeah, gym, tanning, laundry. So yeah. Google Calendar is definitely a big one. Big one for me. I'm going to throw a random one in there. Venmo is one of my favorite communication tools. I love Venmo.
So much better than Facebook.
We just love being in
So
people's
much
personal
better.
lives. I want to know what you're spending money on.
Yeah.
I want to know what
I'm not
you're-
gonna lie too. I get caught up in the feed of Venmo. You ever you're just like, why did he send? Ooh,
Yes.
why are they paying each other? What is that for?
like,
Yeah.
oh, they hung out.
Hashtag petty.
Yeah. You see, like, so-and-so paid so-and-so for Uber. I'm like, oh, they took an Uber together.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. But
Or
it's
just like a lot of jokes that you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I like when people do the jokes, like $20 for that hug. And they're just like, I want to know all about it. There's got to be some angle there for content. The stories behind Venmo. What did you spend that money on?
the new Facebook for destroying marriages? Like,
Oh, that would. I bet something comes out of that. Like I saw they were hanging out because he sent her money on Venmo.
Oh, no doubt that's happened.
But I mean, I like it just because it's the easiest way to, obviously transfer money between people. But there's something really easy about just like texting it and charging somebody and getting that notification like, hey, they paid you, and then done.
would you say Venmo's better than Facebook payments?
I don't use Facebook payments, so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Easier to keep track of in one place versus Facebook payments. If you pay someone and then have a conversation 2 months later, if you wanted to go like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
It's
need
harder
to
to
figure
keep-
out how much
yeah.
this expense was, but now there's a bunch of panda gifts in our
Right.
Or
Or videos.
Yeah.
All the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just like on your banking account, you don't want your Facebook and they should just be
Yeah, they
separate.
should just
Like,
be
how is
separate.
Snapchat doing that too now?
They try to get. I don't. That's not.
It's SnapCash. You can pay people on Snapchat.
They've been doing that for a while, though.
I
feel
know,
like
but
they
I've
tried to be
never-
the OG, and
They
it just
did.
didn't work.
They did and they did, and that's the
No one
thing.
knew
Is
about
it's just
it.
like it doesn't. It's
And
super. Venmo makes a lot of money just from.
Yeah.
So Venmo makes money two ways. They make money from if you use credit or like a card, they make the percentage fee on that transaction. But where they really make a lot of money is just having the money sit on their servers. And so actually me and my roommates were talking about this the other night. The fact that like I've actually had like $40 in my Venmo account.
I never take it out.
And it's just like,
constantly.
and then exactly, and then you're turning, and so technically, while that money's on the server, that's Venmo's money, and they can do whatever they want with
so
that
it's like
money.
we're giving a loan.
Yeah, well, it's like a bank.
A bank. They
It's
use
like
your
a bank.
money.
They can use the money. Yeah, exactly. So they can make money with the money.
Sneaky people.
Very, very genius.
That
That's
is,
so
yeah.
amazing.
That's brilliant.
Because the user's not affected. You're still going to get your money, but they're making interest on the $1 billion that's tied up in
Yeah.
their reserve. That's incredible.
Yep.
Love that.
I like them even more now.
too. I like the name too.
So someone mentioned Snapchat, and that's a big one.
This big one.
Does anyone want to go into the Snapchat?
Yeah, I mean, I use Snapchat every day, all day. Not
Every day, all day.
It's
All
like
day.
a mini Josh.
Yeah.
It's like every time, I don't know. I like to go out and do things with Allie and Josh because then when I get home, I have like an instant replay of what my night was like.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Which is great though because I'm really bad at it. And also Snapchat loads really slow on my phone now, so it's not as fun to pull up. But I like to get home and be like, that was great. I remember that moment. Or like I didn't see that moment when those people said that thing.
Yeah. Well, and I use it just instead of texting now. I just like send a short video or a short Snapchat like, hey, how are you? Instead of like a text because it's just like Snapchat's more casual. It's more easy to kind of reconnect with people you haven't talked to in a little while or
Yeah.
even on the day-to-day. I mean, I don't know. I like it for connecting with people every day and people I haven't talked to in a while. It's just a little bit more like easy, quick, and fun.
That's why
Yeah.
I think that's why it's been so successful is because it's tapping into what we know that content is trending towards, which is video. It's removing the barrier of entry for all users. Now all users can take a fun video, put a filter on it, and it's really fun to watch, versus like 5 years ago taking a video on a Motorola, looks like a potato, filmed it. And so now everyone can create high quality, fun to watch video content. And also another barrier of entry that's been just like blocked, or not barrier of entry, but like barrier to that frequent communication and people using it a lot, is you can type something and it's gone the next day. So there's no pressure to spell check, no pressure to be perfect.
That's
You
right.
can be totally candid. And as a result, people are engaging there more because they don't have to think about who's going to see their Facebook post and what everyone's going to think of it. You can just put it out there. Yes, exactly.
What do you think the difference is between Snapchat and like Instagram, though, if you had to say? What are the biggest differences?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard people use the term like, this is Instagram worthy, and it's just that like that different level of like, you know, polishing the post. Like, so if you take Instagram, you're going to take time to make sure the photo looks really nice, and to put a filter on it, and to think up a caption, and then to run the caption by 6 of your friends and be like, what do you think of this caption before I post this?
Exactly.
All the hashtags.
Exactly. Whereas when, Snapchat is just, I mean, you can just send a bunch of content up, and you're like, I don't really care because it's not going to be there tomorrow. So.
Yeah. I like Instagram stories. I'm like the one person on the earth that's like, I think it's a good idea. I like it.
Really? Does anyone else use them? I don't use them.
I mean, I don't. I think
No
that
one
they're
is really
less for personal and more for like brands and companies. And I think, it's awesome because Gary Vee does it a lot, and then I follow a lot of photographers and people in the creative industry, and so you can like if I take a professional photo, upload it to my phone, I can upload it to my Instagram story, and it looks like I took that picture on my phone, and like it looks like I was in that setting, and it doesn't do like Snapchat where you can tell that you uploaded the photo. So Instagram still has that like fake life. In their stories, it's still like everything looks perfect.
That's a really good way of putting it, though. I think that's the biggest difference. Instagram, fake life. Ideal, perfect life. Snapchat, real life. Real life. Yeah. Spelling mistakes.
Oh, and the other thing that we were talking about the other day that I liked about Instagram stories, or I guess that people can capitalize on, is that it is organized by your engagement. So the more the accounts that you interact with the most, those are the stories that are up at the top, the first, and you really only have space for like 3 of them. So, it's good and bad because, you can keep up with the people that you truly only care about, where if you get into Snapchat, you've got to like scroll, find people's names or like, whatever. And with Instagram, it's always there, so I can just check in with the people that I care about.
Yeah. That's true.
But then if nobody cares about you, then nobody sees
it. Yeah, which is a good and a bad thing for Snapchat. They don't have any type of engagement algorithm where they serve you stuff based on what you're clicking on. They just serve you They just serve you what just popped up. So if someone you don't like or don't care about posts frequently, you're going to see their stuff no matter what. So it's really the last social platform where you can still get exposure without having to without having to play an algorithm. If you post it, people will see it, the same as if your best friend posted that same time. And one way that I try and keep my friends at the top is I tag everyone's beginning of your name with AA. So I go and search AA, and then it pulls up Kyle, Melissa, Dakota, and Allie, and everyone want to see. So I don't have to sort through all this stuff, but it is frustrating that way. And I think also Instagram with their stories, there are people on Instagram who will never make the switch to Snapchat. Ever. Right. But now Instagram is offering them a way to utilize that funness and that storytelling in the platform that they like.
Right. I still think kind of what Dakota was saying about that it's not authentic. In video, it's harder to fake with video. A picture, you can set something up perfectly so it looks great. With video, you can't do that. And I don't know how I don't know how Instagram would overcome that hurdle, because what Snapchat offers is this quick, easy way to take a quick video and you're done. Real time.
It's real time. No throwbacks.
Exactly. No throwbacks on Snapchat. But yeah, so there's definitely that advantage to Snapchat, and it feels a little bit more authentic. And then Instagram is just like this perfect photo that you set up, and you can do that with video, but not ideal. You can't do it quickly.
The thing that Instagram did that honestly kind of pissed me off was the change from the chronological to the algorithm. Because just
Keep
the way
seeing
that
the same photo.
and so do I, and it's pretty annoying because there is that seldom photo that I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this, and I was definitely like, they posted this 2 days ago, and I've been all over Instagram, and so I mean, since they made the switch, I can honestly say the likes that my photos have gone up a good percentage, probably like, I don't know, like 20-30%. But even so that means that there's more relevant people seeing my posts, right? So it's kind of hard to argue against it, but my thoughts are the way that I used it was just more old-fashioned, and so I would just literally scroll down my timeline, and I don't follow that's the other thing is I only follow like 300 or 400 people, and some people who follow like thousands of people. Yeah. It's like that's where the algorithm really makes sense because it's only going to show you things that are your tight-knit network or more so. That's what we'll attempt to do. Mm-hmm. But for me, I mean, I could just scroll down my timeline until I got to the point where I had already seen all those photos. I'm like, okay, I'm up to date.
Yeah, so it's just my friends. Like,
right.
I'm not doing it for the way Dakota
so
is.
Many people. so many things. And it also throws it off now because it'll be like when people are having sales on things and it's like only this many hours left. I'm like, oh, that's weird because usually sales end at midnight, and then it's like you have to check to see what time they posted it. Sometimes it was 3 days ago, and then it throws everything off. Yeah. But I mean, you love and you hate it. Yeah. I'm an Instagram girl, so
Instagram girl. So let's go and segue into other social media platforms too. We've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We obviously already covered Snapchat. Out of those, which are you guys using, and which ones do you think they're kind of like on their way out? I've heard whispers about Twitter being on its way out. I don't know how true that is.
I love Twitter.
Yeah. What's Whisper exactly? I know I've seen the content around, but how do people use that? Like, what do you mean? What type of person?
Meant like whispers.
Oh, I thought you meant Whisper the platform. Gotcha.
Oh, it's a platform?
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at that. I sounded really in it for a second.
I was really putting myself out there. Like, I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to let them tell me what Whisper is because Melissa clearly knows and I need to know.
Melissa clearly doesn't know. No? Tell Melissa what Whisper is.
Well, it's a place where you share anonymously your thoughts, and they'll have kind of topics that people will reply to.
Like Reddit?
Yes, a little bit. And
Yik Yak?
Yes, yeah. So, except for that's just the most popular one, I guess. Actually, I never got into Yik Yak either.
You should be glad that
that was
Yik Yak. It was
the name alone.
It's still got a pretty good base though. Like if
do college kids still use it, or is it?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes. That was like last year when I was traveling to all the college campuses. That was the first thing that I did was like, Yik Yak, what are people actually saying about the people that, like, you're telling me that this is what people think about you, but I'm going to get on and find out actually what people are saying about you.
Oh, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to carry that resentment around.
Most of the time it was just a bunch of salty people, so there wasn't a whole lot of information going on anymore.
I wonder if that has sparked what is going on now where there's Facebook groups and different forums and different threads on Reddit where you can post a picture of yourself and invite people to roast you.
Oh, I saw that on Reddit.
And so you're inviting, it's not anonymous anymore. Like you're asking for it and you can see the usernames of people who are telling you stuff, and that is a thing now. I wonder if Yik Yak kind of played into that.
Yeah,
I think people get tired of anonymous things. It's fun at first, and then it gets not fun, and then everybody's over it.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to Twitter, I don't know about you guys, but
so saturated.
It is, and I used it. I definitely when Twitter was first, kind of coming out, and I was using it on my Razr and had SMS notifications sent to me, and that was way back in high school. But since then I kind of tapered off, and from when I was dumb and 15 and almost got fired from my grocery store job for saying I hate my boss on Twitter. And so I was like, no, I'm done with this. And then so after starting here, I was like, man, I should really try to get more on this platform. And I went back and looked through all my tweets and then hated myself even more because it turns out when you're 15 and you can just talk to the world that you'll say anything that's on your mind with absolutely no filter. So I went and basically deleted all of my tweets with that same account that has a pretty decent following, and but I've kind of struggled to get back into it because it's just kind of like Allie said, it's super saturated. It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't feel organic at all. It feels like everything is a retweet or everything is a a sale or a share, and so
Yeah.
back when I used to use it, it's completely changed. And
Did marketing ruin Twitter?
I think they kind of did.
Yeah.
Marketing and like journalists kind of ruined Twitter. Journalists, I'm putting that in quotes, have ruined Twitter.
People who auto tweet things every hour, every day.
People that retweet crappy content have also ruined Twitter.
Yeah. The only reason I think Twitter the reason I hope that Twitter will not die, because I think it will die, it will get bought by something and just get piecemealed out, is because of the celebrity tweets and the drama that when people screenshot the stupid things people say on Twitter, I like to listen to it. I hope stupid people stay there and keep saying stupid things because I like to look at it. It's for sport.
Sports is, I was going to say sports is huge.
And news.
too.
Yeah.
And news.
That's like, I mean, I know it's
How can you
stupid,
filter
but
it?
like
I
I feel,
can't.
well,
That's
you
the
just,
problem.
well, a hashtag, or you just get on and it's like,
Yeah, the
it's
hashtag.
things
Also
happen
filter
and
it.
you're just like, yeah, or,
You go to
you know,
moments.
when
Or
we
you
were watching.
you kind
But
of
for
reduce
events,
it, follow to people you just like. I mean, like, and trust.
No,
So
see that they don't always listen to you because I blocked Kim Kardashian years ago. Because
Did
it
she
was
respond to you?
no, I
Or-
just blocked her on Twitter
Oh.
because I wanted everything about her to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds harsh,
no,
but I
it
got
doesn't
tired.
sound harsh at
I
all.
was
Oh
like,
my
Respect
gosh.
I'm
that.
really tired of seeing every single. It was around the time she got divorced, and Twitter was like, Kim's getting divorced, and I was like, I don't want to hear about this. I'm sorry, I just don't care, and I don't. This isn't like a Kim Kardashian social media platform. This is Twitter. So I blocked her. Twitter was still really trying to get me back into Kim Kardashian. I got emails that were like, listen to what people are talking about. It was kind of like about Kim Kardashian, but not like. It didn't like have to do with her like actual handle. It was just the topic. Or I would get emails like she retweeted this, and I was like, why are you still notifying me of this when I blocked her?
You're
Like,
bringing up something really interesting that other social media platforms have fallen to. They think they're optimizing, but they're really just annoying. So, for example, when you go on Facebook, and if you click on one Kim Kardashian article, they know that you have clicked on that, and then they're going to assume that you've done that. So where Instagram, if you scroll through something, Instagram's not going to collect that you scrolled through it. If you like it, it'll serve it to you, but you can like look, and it's not going to try and serve you things based on what you were looking at. Facebook's a little bit more stalkery that way, where if you click on things, and I'm petty, so I like to click on things that make me angry and I hate, and so then it just gives me more things that make me angry and I hate. And Facebook too, the anonymity, like if you can go and have a Twitter conversation between you and a person, and it won't tell the whole world about it. If I want to go be petty on Facebook, it's going to go show all my friends that I'm being petty on Facebook, and everyone knows everything, and it's almost too much.
it is
Too much.
Totally
It's too
It's
much.
true, but I
Facebook.
feel like
TMI
Twitter,
Facebook.
I mean, Facebook, I love when people say things on Facebook because it's super easy to find, but at the same
That
time,
really is
And it's like
crazy.
people over here judging, like,
I know.
like, oh, like Facebook, whatever. And it's like, you're reading it.
Yeah.
But Facebook's showing it to you because it knows you like it.
but then you
petty.
jump to
We're all
Twitter
petty.
and you go what people are really thinking, because there's zero filter on Twitter because it's
Yes.
everyone's inner thoughts. That's just like the only time that you get on Twitter is because you have no one else to listen to you and you just want to say like,
Subtweet.
exactly.
So that kind of brings up back to what Sarah was saying about like the celebrity angle, where a lot of celebrities, that's their go-to platform is Twitter, because they don't have a filter.
Yeah.
And it's another like, I feel like Twitter, not only do you get that kind of access to high-profile people, do you guys feel like you could meet someone on Twitter like that you couldn't meet in real life, or
Absolutely, and I have.
I
Yeah,
have.
for sure.
you would meet someone on Twitter rather than meeting someone on Facebook? Like if someone sent you a Facebook message and they were like, "Hey, I'm so and so. I want to be friends with you because of this." But on Twitter, yeah, we're getting nods.
Twitter is who
We're
I
getting
am
nods.
to the world if I was uncensored. And I know the world will see it, but I'm not held back by what my friends are going to think. So I'm almost more sometimes myself on Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much, but when I do post there, I'm less
Oh, for sure.
How about-
because I know that my conservative grandma's not going to go in there and jump, oh, honey, or my liberal
parents
friends
haven't
aren't going to go in and
infiltrated it
jump
yet.
and like go, oh, should you be sharing that? Like, you know, they're not gonna, no one's going to see that.
Yeah. That's why I literally,
So I
I'm
don't
like
post
a,
stuff on Facebook really.
what do they call it when someone's a silent observer? Like I'm
Lurker,
on Facebook,
you're a lurker.
Like I'm on Facebook all the time, but
Yep.
I'm never actively posting. Like basically never. Like the last thing that was original content that I posted was
Work
that
update.
post about if you post political stuff during the election, then I'm unfollowing. And I seriously did unfollow so many people.
I made it through the whole election. Didn't post this.
You guys want to know a secret about Facebook?
What?
I don't follow anyone on Facebook.
Really?
I
How do
only
you do
follow
that?
magazines and brands and things like that. I don't
Oh,
follow
like you're friends
anyone.
with people, but you just unfollow
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
That's brilliant.
How do you
That's
learn
how
about
Josh does that too. So when you jump on his Facebook, you're seeing articles from Mashable and TechCrunch and Gary Vee, and it's very,
Interesting.
it's like a curated, it's
Yeah.
like literally a curated news feed.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
just
exactly
updates about.
that's exactly what it is for me too.
Yeah, because he got inundated with babies and weddings, and that's like all you see because Facebook
Yeah.
gives that such high priority because it's a huge life event. But
I
not
clicked
there for
on,
that.
I don't know when Facebook introduced this, but you could select like 15 or 20 friends that you're like, these are my most important friends that I
Mhm.
always
Oh,
want
yeah, I
their stuff
remember
first.
that.
So I did that, and that's improved my experience a little bit.
Yeah.
Just seeing like my top friends in the, always first on my news feed. So
What freaks me out is the photo tagging.
Oh,
how
the
it
face
knows
recognition.
people.
Yeah,
Oh,
Facebook servers,
yeah.
there is a file somewhere that has your face,
Just
a
imagine you with
profile
that face.
for your face and it has a bunch of tiny images that all represent your face that it uses to pick out your face, and that's really creepy.
That is creepy.
You know, you can request all of that information that Facebook has on you as an
Really?
American citizen. Yeah, you can go and file something and request that they give you all the information they've collected about you. Get that little face file.
Face
That's-
Make
file.
a,
Face
make a
file.
collage.
I know. What do? You march in there really mad, like, give me all my files.
Give me my
Like-
faces.
Yeah, give me my faces.
And then you're like, okay,
Well, the other thing
What
I
have I
don't
done?
like,
what have I done? What do I do?
I make a quilt with this.
the other thing I don't like about Facebook is when you're editing your profile, they don't tell you that it's gonna make it like an update that the world can see.
hate
Like
that.
one time I think I updated my Huify job, and then everyone saw this post that's like, Allie left her job at Huify, and it's like, I didn't leave, I just changed my title. Like,
Yeah.
and it was just
Yeah.
like, it doesn't tell you like, or like ended a relationship. It doesn't tell you like when
Oh,
things
I see
happen
that
or
one
when
too.
people
You have
will
to delete
see
that.
Did
Which
you
I
know?
think they
Oh,
got
sorry.
better at. I think they have made more educational. So when you used to go on Facebook, it was no onboarding, no nothing. Now they
Yeah.
onboard you. They're putting notifications up at the top of your
Yeah.
homepage saying, check your privacy settings. Make sure you know what gets shared because of that frustration. So at least they're listening and learning.
Yeah, but I just don't like how like changing your profile picture equals now I'm going to automatically make a post to let everyone know
Yeah, I
Kyle
don't
Kramer
like that.
changed his profile picture.
Yeah, you have to
Like,
go in right away.
I just want to change my profile picture.
Yeah, but then
Even if you
But then
remove
no
it
one
from
will read
the
timeline,
likes.
it
I
still
know,
goes
but I
in your
don't
newsfeed.
give a shit.
I feel like it's equivalent to making website updates and then having them notify everyone that's gone to that website. Like, they just changed the background picture. No one cares
No
about
one
this.
cares.
So annoying.
I'm just making this
That'd be-
better.
Yeah.
So that actually, the thing about Facebook, this brings up a really interesting point, is how much data they collect and how much they know about you.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys, this amazes me, but did you know that Facebook can predict probably within a week or two when a couple is going to break up?
What?
That
I
doesn't
love
surprise
This
that.
me
was
at
a
all.
study that they did, and they said how they and they can tell if they're going to start dating too, because they track when you add that person as a friend, the interactions between you, the messages that you send each other, the mutual friends that you add, and they say that the more mutual friends that you have that you've known for a long time. So let's say I was dating someone and they started adding people that I went to high school with, like my family members, like that's how Facebook knows that it's getting serious. And they said
my
the
God.
couples that don't do that don't have like the older friends added, are the ones that break up because you can tell that they're not as close. And I was like,
Interesting.
mind blown.
Yeah.
Facebook, give me all of your data.
The C friendship thing is like my favorite thing.
I like that. I wish
Yeah.
they do more of that.
And I'm like, I used to all the time. I'm like, see friendship between me and this person? Huh? See friendship between these two people? What are you guys doing? What is that?
Then she
But-
tracks it to Venmo.
I know. And the Twitter, I'm like on all over it. I got you on everything.
Facebook should buy Venmo just sheerly for that, to be able to pull in the payment relationships with
Payment
people.
relationships.
Because we all just acknowledge it's fun to watch, it's fun to look at.
It would be
People
awful.
stuff.
Yeah, but the things
would
that people
ruin it,
say
though.
on
You can
Venmo
share
would
it
not
to-
they would not say them on Facebook.
That's true, yeah. They would ruin it there.
What was it related? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, to your point, Melissa, with the relationship predicting, what was it you who shared that Facebook can also, like companies will determine how reliable you are for a loan, like whether they want to give you a loan or not based on your Facebook?
That was not me.
Yeah, so like if you're following a bunch of like trash magazines, you click on clickbaity nonsense, you have a certain number of friends, and you don't they'll take all those data points and decide whether you're gonna like be able to.
I feel like that's a good question for
a
Casey and Marion. I should ask them.
Yeah, I feel like, and they said something like it's 97% accurate, something like that.
Wow.
Like whether they actually qualify with their credit scores and everything like that.
And so who's using that information?
Yeah.
So lending companies, for example, will compile that. They'll, look at the data and say, based on your Facebook usage, whether you would qualify for a loan or not. And it's like 97% accurate. So if they determine that you wouldn't qualify for a loan and that person actually applies for a loan, that they find that most of the time that person actually doesn't qualify. Their credit score is too low. They don't have enough history.
That's interesting.
So
They don't pay their bills or something like that. And they can predict that based on their Facebook usage.
Interesting.
But if they're tracking data, like whether or not you're like, looking at trashy magazines and stuff, like I feel like that could be an indicator. But I'm sure there's people that are very irresponsible financially who are not doing things.
It's true.
Like that.
Causality, correlation does not equal
apply.
causality, but it's a good predictor. And 97%. So people who are following Forbes and Fortune and Mashable and TechCrunch and things like that probably are more career inclined, financial inclined. Just like as a predictor, you could probably make that deduction.
Well, I mean, that's all any of it is, too. I mean, a credit score is like I could go buy a car and then, drive it to Mexico and never pay a dime on it. And so it's all credit is all it is predicting. And so if what they're saying is if they take that data of the credit score and then they match it up from the indicator data inputs that they're taking from Facebook, there's like, I guess, a 97% indicator that they will or won't be approved based on those inputs, right?
Yeah, I wonder how deep it goes. Like, if they see that you're going out to bars a lot, for example, something that you might consider
I'm not getting approved for anything.
I know. But, like, I wonder how deep it goes because, like, can they search where you've been and how much you travel? And maybe people who travel are more financially secure. Like, can they look at the locations you've tagged yourself in?
Well, they can't. And so no, they cannot.
They cannot.
Or, depending on your privacy settings.
Well, no,
so
if you've tagged yourself in California as I went to the Ritz, and you tagged yourself in Florida as in I'm in Miami, you gave that information to them. I'm wondering if they look at that and they are able to predict whether people who travel more are more likely to have good credit.
Who are you giving that information to?
So Facebook. So if I go to Miami and I tag myself at a fancy hotel and I post a picture and I say at Malibu Resort.
Yeah, how does BB&T see that?
Oh, BB&T, Facebook gives that. They can get anything. So they can search people who like. Think about BB&T. If I'm, I don't know how they get all the data, but that's available to Facebook. So it's definitely available to your advertisers. Think about the people who are spending millions on Facebook.
Yeah.
They probably have a different level of access to be able to filter like people who travel more than twice a year versus just the custom audience that we have available to us as marketers at this level.
See, that's why I put no input in. See, I don't see. There's a line there, so it's like what, like so in turn they're selling user information. I mean,
you gave it to the world, and
no, you didn't give it to the world. You gave it to Facebook.
You gave it to Facebook, and they sold it. But they sold it, and then you got a better ad. Not, please, Sarah, sell your eggs to us because you're a college student and a female.
Boo. Maybe I wanted eggs.
Then how will Facebook make money if they can't give BB&T your data so they can market to you? You don't have to click on it.
There's a difference between serving me an appropriate ad and then also using my data to predict credit score in my approval for a loan. Like those are like I don't know where the line is there. Clearly it's gray, but there's a line there.
Yeah, but what if it's just saying, okay, I got data on users and I want just a list of people who have a college degree, are married, and own a car. And maybe own a car is equivalent to tag themselves at a dealership within the past 10 years or 5 years. And they are able to pull that out and predict, like, those people have a better chance of qualifying for a loan. So I want to market to those people on Facebook. They can't take it off platform, take your email address, and then go email you, but they can serve you ads on Facebook.
Sure.
But now they have that data other ways, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
And
wanna
so
find
where's
out
the
how deep
line?
it goes,
Yeah,
though. I don't know
it's
how,
curious. I
how
wonder.
what they're able to do with it.
It's interesting.
I think it's
Yeah.
interesting because that kind of data, like, you obviously can't really manipulate as a
Mhm.
person because you don't actively think about the data that Facebook is collecting. But
Yeah.
everyone has this kind of persona that they're putting out on social media
Mm-hmm.
of how they want to be perceived. But it's like people on Facebook might know you for that persona, but Facebook knows who you really are.
Facebook knows who you really are, and they don't sell users' data. They're very, very, very into privacy. They
Yeah.
would be ruined if they had well, they wouldn't be ruined, but they're very protective of that because people would hate that if they were any other way. So like it's in platform, like they're not BBT can't go take that into their own spreadsheet and do their own analysis.
But they
I'm
can
guessing, but they
use
can
it to
market to you on
market
Facebook.
to you on Facebook. Yeah.
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 Weird.
Well, okay. So I'm glad that you brought up
Good tangent.
BB&T and ads because I was kind of leading into brands on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. And I think, so we could go on about that forever, but specifically, when was the last time, if you can think of it, that you actually responded to a brand or clicked on an ad or something, like knowing it was an ad or knowing it was a brand, but it was just so, like, there was, like, you wanted to click on the ad because you wanted to buy it or you wanted to respond to the conversation or contribute, and you just did it because it was so good.
Mhm.
Because I think even, especially as marketers, like, we see ads and we're like, I'm not clicking on that.
Skeptical.
Yeah,
Right
skeptical.
Right out of the brink. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
but
are
then
you
at the
really
same
trying
time,
to pull away? Give
Yeah.
us-
It's so easy to market to.
Yeah.
It's like,
The only
what? I'm in there.
The only time I click on an ad is retargeting, so they obviously know my Pinterest because anytime I'm pinning something about like shoes I want, I get all the ads on Facebook. I'm like, ooh, I like that one too, and then I pin it, and then that's how my ads life works.
Have you ever purchased anything directly from an ad? Like gone through that process of I see those shoes, they reserve me the ad, I go click on it, I go through it, I buy it right there and I'm done? Or is it something that you kind of revisit?
Yeah,
And
I
just
would probably
marinate over
pin
it.
it, think about it, and then buy it. I'm not an immediate person.
They've definitely got me for that.
For that?
Yeah. And it's like shoes I had in my cart, but they got me to make a purchasing decision because they served me the ad and they reminded me that it was there.
Chubby's got me.
Did they really?
Yeah, and I talk about this story because I'm definitely skeptical when it comes to it. But so I I've been looking at Chubby shorts, but they're kind of ridiculously priced. It's like $50 for a pair of stupid shorts. And one day I was on Instagram and they were like, they just had this really funny ad, and I was like, ha ha ha, download the Chubby's app. I was like, okay, ad. And so then I downloaded the app. And so so I downloaded the app, and all it is their online store. And I went through, and I was just kind of like looking, and I was like, ooh, I like those, and I like those, and I put them both in my cart. And then it prompted me to go to the cart, and all I had to do to buy it was scan my fingerprint. And so because it's an app and Apple Pay is all integrated into it, and I was just like, dang, I could just buy these, and I was like, boop, and they were like, on the way, and I was like, guess I just spent $100 on 2 pairs of shorts,
Wow.
That's amazing.
and I wear them all the time now.
Ooh.
What's the biggest thing that keeps you from making a purchase right then and there? Is it entering all your credit card information?
It stops me
An
all the
address.
time.
They
It stops
removed
me
that.
all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Apple Pay got me.
Have you guys ever seen those
Freaking fingerprint
articles that
genius.
Amazon does? Or I don't know what magazine it is. It asks celebrities, what's the last thing you bought on Amazon Prime?
Ooh.
So let's play. What's the last thing that you guys bought online?
Oh, mine's gonna be stupid. I buy everything.
I might have to look.
It was just Cyber Monday. I bought some.
Oh, that's true.
I bought memory cards because I was like, someone on Facebook said that they got them on sale, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. And then I got ColourPop because it's
I
like
got ColourPop.
a continuous sale, and I kept missing it. And then Instagram, they were up in there. I was like, okay,
What's ColourPop?
lipstick.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's like
Love
it's the hack to the Kylie Jenner. I know Sarah appreciates her Kylie Jenner lip kit,
I
but
tested it for science.
for science.
She,
But
she almost got me at the lip kit, and I'm not super into
Get
makeup.
ColourPop.
but
And you know
she
what?
Almost got me. I
And
was
you
like,
know
no,
what?
I
It's
won't.
because I don't know who follows her on Snapchat, but she does everything on Snapchat. It's all like she gets on and she's like 3 minutes, and then she's got 300,000 people on her website. Website crashes. She sells out in 30 seconds, and it's like done. And she's just like, look, it's on my lips. This is what it looks like on my body.
Takes
And
money to
here's
make
all
money.
the different things, and it's crazy. But you pay $46 for her stuff, or you can go to ColourPop which is the same exact formula. She can argue it all day she want, like all day long, but it's the same thing. You can get it for $6.
Nice.
As a chemist, I will confirm that. They make
Yes, confirmed.
They make it in the same
all
lab,
marketing.
and the things that they change are the pigments, but it's the same formula. It's made on the same equipment. It's the same.
Can we do a whole separate podcast where Sarah's like, this is the same, I've tested it.
Hashtag petty.
Hashtag petty.
Petty science.
What about you, Allie? What's the last
Mine
thing you bought?
was, I think it was a suitcase for inbound.
Mm.
But I
Oh, and why did you buy that though? Because of a referral.
okay, yeah, I've
Ooh,
become,
yeah.
I'm kind of a hard person to sell unless I'm in person with somebody and someone's telling me why I need it. Like,
And then they say, "Are you sure?" And you say, "Give
I'm
me all the
probably
extra
not a
things."
good example for a digital marketing.
No,
like,
I think
person.
you are a great
That's-
example
oh.
because it's getting more difficult
Like,
to sell to
I
people.
will not watch something on Netflix until someone's told me to watch it. I will not buy something until I've asked it about someone else. I will not click on an ad and buy it. Like, I didn't get ColourPop until you told me about it. I didn't get this suitcase until Josh was like, I love this suitcase. Like, I'm such a referral person.
I think most consumers are. Would you agree?
I would totally agree. I'm the same exact way. Remember when we talked about it at Inbound where you're like, I was like, I don't have any foundation. Do you have any? And you were like, yes. And then I used it and I was like, oh wow, this is actually kick-ass. Like, what's it called? And you were like, it's called this. And Allie had mentioned it too. So you both kind of referred me to it. I still haven't
Well,
bought
she
it.
referred it to me, and then I became a champion of it.
But yeah, that I'll be like, okay, 2 people have vouched for it. I've used it. I might spend the $40 on it. But then I went to Ulta yesterday and chose not to spend the $40 on it. So I'm like, no,
But
I'm sorry.
Was that the Tarte
I
BB
can't.
primer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, I just can't. I can't. You would have to force a coupon down my throat for me to spend that much money on makeup. And it's just because I'm like, I just want to save it for something else. It's just not worth it to me. But I understand
The referral
why
thing-
it's worth it to everyone else.
I buy from Ulta because they let you return it if you don't like it. I'm like, if
That
I really
is
like
really
it,
important.
then I will keep it and I will feel good about the $40. But if I buy it from a drugstore, you can't return that. And well, they'll look at you, they'll judge you. You can, but that's where I make more buying decisions now because of the return policies. And I end up keeping it a lot of the time. I'm like, if it's worth the money, I will keep it. But that's another thing that influences my decision is if they have a return policy, I will make it
Yeah.
because I know that I can get my money back.
Having
It
that
doesn't
safety
work
net.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I bought boxing gloves with my roommates so we
Man
could beat
cave. Was that your last
so we
purchase?
could beat the crap out of each other.
Okay, where
I
did,
swear.
Okay, walk me through your buyer's journey, please.
So yesterday we were talking about boxing gloves in our iMessage group chat, and one of my roommates was like, "Yeah, but you won't fight me." And I sent him the link to the boxing gloves, and he was like, "Bought them." And then he split them up 3 ways and sent me the Venmo purchase, and I paid him.
That just
And now we have
everything we were
Yeah.
talking
And
about.
now we have boxing gloves on the way.
Full circle.
What brand are they?
That's amazing.
Asking for a friend.
So so they're not legit boxing gloves, but do you remember? Did you ever see
Sock 'em boppers.
Sock and Boppers?
Yes!
Yes.
Please tell me you bought Sock and Boppers.
We bought Sock.
Yes!
We're about to go at it, boy. I'm
Yes.
excited. I'm
So
excited.
exciting.
They're only $10.
See, referral right there.
They're only $10. I was like, oh yeah,
still
these
existed.
this is happening.
Everything
Sock
still
boppers.
exists on the
Yeah.
internet.
I love how this started as a conversation about what communication methods do you use, but it's turned into what, how do you make buying decisions and realizing that our social media preferences, like communicating is buying. Like,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It definitely is.
That's insane.
I honestly can't remember what my last purchase was online.
I like social media. It's like people see people wearing things or doing things. They're like, where'd you get that?
Yes.
Tell them.
Oh,
They go buy it.
so that's okay. That is a great. I'm really glad that you said that because I didn't even think about that. 1 or 2 top social media influencers. Like, who do you guys follow? If they had said like, buy this, this is great, that you'd be like, yes, I'm gonna go do it. Do you guys have anyone like that or any like publications like that you just like?
And what's the context? Like, it's not a sponsor. The product is not paying them to say that. This is just they, as a person.
This is a
Yes.
say, I
KC
use
Nice Stab
this.
boosted board situation.
Gotcha. That perfect context. Yeah.
I don't get that reference. It's okay. I know it's okay.
He's a big YouTube person, and he loves Boosted Board. Boosted Board didn't pay
Gotcha.
him to promote them. He just loves it, and he's very candid about his love for it. And as a result, Boosted Board generated tons of sales just because he said, I love it. But the company didn't pay him to say it. He just said it, and people listened so well to him that they were like, Casey Neistat likes it, I'm going to buy it.
Okay, so that's the context. Let's say a brand that you just love, that you will just, anything they say, or a company or a person. Top influencers. And we'll go around the room. Whoever wants to start.
I gotta think about that one.
I don't have one of those. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like most of my purchase decisions are like backed with like a ton of research. I also don't, I don't buy like, I feel like I don't go out on a limb and buy stuff that I don't like. If I'm interested in buying something that I've never bought before, I'm gonna go on and watch like 10 YouTube videos and reviews about it, whether it's a truck or whether it's I don't know, like a pair of headphones. Like I just want to know and I want to hear like all the different inputs before I make a purchase. So honestly, YouTube is my biggest, and just YouTubing whatever it is with review behind it to find someone who's passionate enough to make a video about it, who clearly at that point is a pretty reasonable source.
Interesting. I'd say no one would make me go out and buy it right then necessarily, but they would make me go do the research and figure out if I should buy it. And the people that I trust the most and will do that for are people who are very, they give recommendations sparingly. So if it's someone kind of like Gary Vee saying, this author's amazing, this book is great, watch this video, look at TechCrunch, their crunch is amazing. So he's very liberal with his recommendations and his endorsements in a genuine way. He just talks a lot, so obviously he's going to get more endorsements. But when he says, go read something, it's going to be huge or it's going to impact your life, it's a really good thing to do, I'm like, yeah, but you say that about everything. So I'm more inclined to to really trust someone who isn't always endorsing things, because when they go out on a limb and say, I really love this product, I'll look into it.
Can
like
you think
Casey
of anyone
Neistat.
specific?
Casey Neistat, for example, he has a huge following. He documents his entire life on YouTube. Well, he was for a little while, but he doesn't give out recommendations. And when he does, it's a 5-minute YouTube video on why he loves that product and just why he loves it, not why you should buy it, but he goes into that.
Yeah. I think something that I've been super into lately, which is an interesting...
Real quick, that's why we have the Canon 70D cameras that we have here, is because that's what he used. That's why we have the Gorilla holders for those cameras, because that's what he used. That's why we have the Rode mics, because that's what he used. So all of those things, after we saw that, we did the research. Turns out they really are the best equipment, and he has made the same research and decisions that we
So
made.
we are also plugging him.
A little
As
bit.
if he were kind of
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Comes from
Sorry, I wanted to
no,
close
yeah.
that.
circle.
Yeah.
No, something that I've been super into lately, which I think is interesting, that like all of a sudden it's just been something that like all of my Facebook engagement is Facebook groups. So I wasn't like a part of many, now I'm a part of a lot, mostly photography related. And it's kind of like, some are really local, some are based around a product. So like everybody in this group uses this product, or everybody in this group has taken this course, or everybody in this group follows this one person that we all, respect their opinion, and like we can tag them in the post and ask them their stuff. But it's kind of like crowdsourcing in a very small space, and a lot of the things that I've been purchasing and a lot of things that I've been doing have come from those places. So it's not necessarily people, but it's really interesting. Like, so right now I'm looking to try and get a new computer. So I've been looking, researching, trying to figure out what's the best thing. And then, we kind of like thought we had an idea of what I needed. And then someone posted in one of those groups yesterday and was asking essentially the same thing. They're just like me. They're looking for the same thing. And everybody in the group was like, oh, 15-inch MacBook, this is what we're getting. And I was like, wow, that's such validation, because I did all this research to understand that this is what I wanted. And now it's like, okay, I think I'm ready, because this group of people who I don't know but all have this common interest have all decided that like that's what everybody's doing. And it's interesting to watch, because it kind of like, I don't know, you can see where everybody is like, yeah, I'm doing that too, and there's like 2 outliers, and then I don't know, it's kind of interesting to watch. But they affect a lot of my buying decision, because it's like people get on there and they're like, oh, well, I'm using this random thing that I'd never heard about, or oh, I got memory cards on sale today from this place, you should go there.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like,
That is a really good point. The community trust, definitely. And that's something that you can't really, like, you can get it from reviews, but you're still kind of iffy because you're like, I'm not having a conversation with this person. I can't ask them questions about the product. So, yeah. What about you, Allie? Did you think of?
The one person I have ever bought like an entire outfit because they wore it is her name is Erin Ma. So she's I don't know if you've heard of Les Mills, but that's what I do Body Jam under, and she's like the main fitness like goddess of it, and like her Instagram is freaking amazing, and like she's just like this perfect person. So I saw her wearing Les Mills is all under Reebok, so it's like I bought like, oh, I love those shoes she's wearing, or that workout outfit. So that's the only time I've like actually been like, ooh, I want that because she's wearing it and she's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ooh, in Crazy Stupid Love, Ryan Gosling, at the scene where he's eating the piece of pizza in the mall and he has that watch on, I was like, I want that watch.
And that pizza.
And so I Googled it and then I bought it.
Oh
Wow.
Kyle, what a great story.
Interesting.
That is
That's the only instance I've ever heard of product placement influencing a purchase to the point of buying.
Really?
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
have definitely done that before.
I'm sure it subconsciously happens. You see a
100%.
Coke and then you go buy a Coke, but not that connection where you went and Googled it, you found it, and then you bought it.
I have done that.
When for what with you? Is it a shirt or a...
I honestly, I can't remember, but I have seen things. I'm like, that's exactly what I want, just like that. And I'll go and I'll try to find it. And I've done it with like articles of clothing that I wear like on a regular basis. I've done it with like sneakers. I've done it with jackets. And I'm just like, I just want one staple. And I'm like, I can't really picture what it is until I see it on someone else kind of doing something I want to do. And I'm like, that's it right there. That's the look I want to go for.
You know, I did do that with the actress who plays Jessica in Suits, the lawyer show. Her fashion, whoever styles her, is just like, so I was trying to figure out where they get her wardrobe, and it was like Neiman Marcus, of course, everything was $10,000. But I did watch that show, and I tried to figure out where they got her stuff from.
Have you heard of The Hunt?
Yes.
Website? I've used that before.
Yes, I have used it before too.
People post pictures of things like from Pinterest, just like, where do I find this? And then people comment if they know where it's from and where to buy it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I also use Polyvore for that too.
Polyvore,
To track and find where things are. I did think of something that I have done. I did it with Robin Wright with her haircut. She, as soon as I saw her in House of Cards, I was like, that's the haircut that I wanted. It took me like 2 years to actually do it. But then I was like, nope, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Wow.
Like, to the T.
Huh.
And it's, that could be its own separate podcast in itself. But
Cool.
But yeah, okay. Well, let's close up because we're kind of running a little tardy here. But thank you for joining us. And if you guys have any comments, feedback, questions, just send it in the team. I have our Twitter handle on our profile, Team Huify, HUIFY. So yeah, definitely send us your thoughts. And thanks for listening.
Love it. Or can we snap you?
Oh, yeah. Snap me it. I'm Missy Randall. That's my Snapchat name. I need to change it. I don't check it.
Cool.
Cool.